to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest of all.
Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking to my ball. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
Hello, everybody. Jason Sarney here with Dolphins Talk. It is a special interview show. We're split screen right now, but I'm going to basically have my guest come on up, Coach Steph Brown, who is actually a football trainer and coach. He works with Malik Washington, rookie on the Miami Dolphins. But before we do that, just want to do a special read for our sponsors over at Caneswear. Caneswear, the place to go for officially licensed apparel for Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, the Hurricanes, Florida Panthers, and all of the professional and college teams in South Florida. Looking for the latest jersey, a birthday gift, or the newest hat to hit the market of your favorite South Florida team? Check out Caneswear for their overwhelming selection of sports apparel, located 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. Caneswear has it all. Not in South Florida, no worries. Visit Caneswear.com to shop their inventory from the comfort of your home, and they will ship it to you. International fans, too. Caneswear.com is the spot that Miami fans shop. That's Caneswear.com, Caneswear.com. So let me bring up Coach Steph Brown. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm good. How about you?
It's week one going into the first game of real NFL action. So I'm doing great. Appreciate you asking. And of course, appreciate the time. So right now, you are doing coaching. You're doing wide receiver specialty training. You yourself, you were a wide receiver in college. Why don't, before we go into the nitty gritty, take us through your football life, your journey growing on up and how you got to Western Kentucky, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Originally, I started playing football when I was 4. I graduated from Henry County High School. I went to prep school at Atlanta Sports Academy. I also went to Western Kentucky University. I won a lot of bowl championships out there. I played for Coach Jeff Braun. He's the head coach at Louisville now. I also played for Bobby Petrino and Willie Taggart. They ain't really had no crazy decorated career, but it was fun, and I played on a lot of really good teams, I got an opportunity to travel the world, play in the Bahamas Bowl. It was fun. Got a great experience. First person in my family to graduate. I got 2 degrees from Western Kentucky University, sport management and sport administration. So, just football has always been a part of my life and my journey. So it took me places I never thought I'd be able to go.
You play both, a little return action. You did some wide receiver, obviously, and you're translating that now into what you do as a coach, as a trainer. So take us through that transition, and you're someone who is no stranger to adversity. You have a terrific story and how you have, gone through something, that no one ever wants to go through, and you kind of turned that into a non-for-profit charitable scenario. So take us through that. And, it's a very impressive story, sir.
Yes, sir. So when I got done playing, I went back to WKU. And started coaching. I started my coaching career in 2017 and 2018. I got done playing in 2016. But when I was up there, I would just work with the guys. I would just work with the receivers. My first year, I was an offensive assistant. I worked with the receivers. So, my job, the things I would have to do is check classes, make sure they had the game plans, make sure that, just preparing them for the game. So I watch a lot of film, get drills that, find drills and stuff that translated to game time situations. And I would call my brother TJ. That's who, him and my brother Steve McGill, they started Top Shelf Performance. And I had my own little thing going on at the time. So they was like, man, you might as well just get in on the training side with us. So when I got done coaching, the cool thing about coaching at WKU, I got to coach on both sides of the ball. I coached wide receivers, I coached running backs, and I also coached DBs with Clayton White. He's now the DC at South Carolina. So I got to see both sides of the ball. And then when I got done at WKU, I came home back to Atlanta. I got into the training with my brother. We started doing receiver training, and I didn't really have a whole bunch of clientele at first, but he would just be like, "Man, you got a lot of expertise at the position. You know a lot what's going on. You coach college ball. Like, come out here and help me." So I started helping, like, just helping them out, come out there recording, just get my expertise here and there. Like, if I see something, I speak on it, and then I started getting my own clientele within the company. So it just got bigger and bigger, and it started to grow. Social media, like, I started using it for what it was for, and then when I got to that point, I was just like, okay, like, we got something here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty cool. So, and in 2019, I was a victim of gun violence. I was taking one of my kids home from training. It was a drive-by shooting in my neighborhood, and I ended up getting shot, but I was fine. Like, after everything that happened and everything, I got shot on a Wednesday. I coached in a game on a Friday on crutches. So, I didn't really let nothing really hold me back or anything like that, but that led me to start my nonprofit organization called the Making Believe Foundation. That's Believe with a 17. I was number 17 at WKU. So I started a nonprofit to raise awareness about gun violence, and community outreach. So when I got into that, I've been doing my youth camp in my neighborhood the last 4 years. We just had my fourth one this past year. It was great. I had a lot of community support. I had a lot of people that came out, a lot of help from my company, Top Shelf Performance, and I got a lot of love out here in the city of Atlanta. So they appreciate what I do for the kids, and just giving back and wanting to see the next generation do well.
It's great to hear that, you could take something that could obviously be a negative impact, could be a horrible potential outcome, and you kind of turn it into something that could create that awareness, help people. It's something in the non-for-profit and the charitable world. The Miami Dolphins organization really has always been at the forefront of that, so I applaud you there. And to go through as being a player, did you always know that you were going to be on that coaching or training path? Did something specifically give you that urge or bug to always want to be in that teacher role after the game, after playing days?
I never really thought I'd be a coach or a trainer. My athletic director, Todd Stewart, like when I was at WKU, he would always ask me, like, "Have you ever thought about being a coach?" Like he would ask me, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys I play with, they was like, "Man, you're a coach on the field. You know how to line people up. Like, you know how to tell, like, all the players." Like, I played for a lot of different coaches in college, so I learned a lot of different schemes. So it was like a lot of watching film, a lot of breaking down film. Like, I was a big special teams guy, so I had to know what was going on. Like, just learn. I was always interested in learning about the game, like learning about different, different types of receivers, different types of guys that, just play the game with different type of style. But I never thought I was going to be a coach or a trainer, but I got into it just to see, like, okay, I'm not that far removed from these kids that I'm dealing with, but I got an impact with them through the game. So I just used that and just ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just started helping guys, like it was never about the money with me because I wasn't really making anything like at first, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like I got people all over the country that, like, they were like, "Coach, can we come train with you?" Like, they'll try to come to Atlanta or they'll try to fly me somewhere, like, and that's what Top Shelf Performance was about, like, just being able to bridge that gap between every, like, ages and being able to do different things and, like, help different people, like, all over the country. So I never really thought about being a coach or a trainer, but it was just something that just grew on me.
And what you've been doing really well is you mentioned social media and your ability to go, whether it's Twitter or YouTube or TikTok even, which is a terrific medium to do things that you're doing these days, and just to get your the hype and the publicity of the work that you're helping these athletes do, because this really will segue into what you've been doing with Malik Washington, rookie out of Virginia, had a fantastic collegiate career, led the nation in receptions, one of the top performers in his conference. And, I could imagine that, getting drafted day 3 there might be a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And what I've seen of him in the preseason, I've seen basically a dog who is going to do anything he can on the field. He's got that flame, that fire in him. He gets lit up on a play. He bounces right back up, and he has a fantastic game on both phases, returning wide receiver. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with Malik, his on-field attributes, and basically how you guys got together and doing your work together.
Yes, sir. So it was kind of funny with me and Malik. One of my mutual friends, his name is Brian Miller. He's also a high school coach out here as well. One of my good friends. He linked me in with Malik his sophomore year of college. And if anybody knows Malik, he's a prestigious student. He started out at Northwestern, so Malik never came home in the offseason. He would always stay like at school, like, he would take extra classes, like, because he was just, he was big on grade, like mom, big on grade. So we never got to link up and work. Like it would just always be like, he'd send me film, I'd like, critique it for him. Like he'd be like, man, we're gonna get together. Like as soon as I get home, like we're gonna lock in. And so he ended up transferring to Virginia. And it was one of them things where it was like, he got to come home for a little bit, but I wasn't in town. But it was just like, man, we're going to get together. So we just kept talking. We just kept like, just build a relationship. Like we just kept talking. I would critique him. Like, I just tell him what I see, little things and stuff like that. But he would just always ask my opinion. And then when he went to Virginia, we would just go over some of the things with his camp. And that's when I started having a conversation with him. Like, look, like, there's some people calling me about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this before the season, before he had even, like caught a pass there. And I'm like, some people see it, they can see the potential, what you got. He was like, Coach, just let me know what you feel, like it's best that I should do. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'll let you talk to my mom and, we'll go from there. So like when the season started, he got to blowing up. Like he got to making plays, making strides, he doing certain things. So I would tell him like, look, there's gonna be a lot of agents and stuff calling you. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. Like, tell them, call me. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, Coach, I think I know who I want to go with, like agent-wise. I'm like, this early? He was like, yeah. So I ended up meeting, his agents and stuff like that. And great people. They great people. Had a relationship with him. He was like, where you think I should train? I was like, well, me and my brother TJ, we had got hired at XPE at the gym with, in South Florida. It's in Lauderdale with Tony Villani and Matt Gates. So I was like, man, you should go down here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot of guys down there. You should he was like, he did his homework. Like Malik he's a do his homework type person. You know what I'm saying? He's going to check things out. Like he saw all the guys running fast down there. He's like, no, that's where I'm going, Coach. Ain't nothing to talk about. He got on the phone with Matt. Like it was just like a match made in heaven. So like Virginia, they didn't go to a bowl game. So Malik started training in December. We crunk up in December because like it came down to a thing where, are you going to play in the Senior Bowl or are you going to play in the East-West Shrine? He was like, well, the Senior Bowl hadn't called me yet. The East-West Shrine called me. So Mr. Galco and all them, they invited him. And he was like, I think that's where I should go. So we hit it like in December. Like before we didn't go down to HBE until the second week of January. And we talking about like second week of December. It's cold in Atlanta. He was outside grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted to work. He was like, Coach, like I want to be, I know I'm one of the best receivers in this draft. You know what I'm saying? I know I am. He was like, I just got to prove it. I got the numbers behind my name. Whatever I need to do, let's do it. So we just put the time in. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a great group. Group of guys. It was 12 guys we had. They got drafted this year. 21 guys got a chance. Me and my brother TJ, and that was the most guys ever got drafted from one gym at XP. Most receivers ever got drafted. So Malik was just that front runner for them. You know what I'm saying? Like even with the production he had, he was always the first person in the gym, last person to leave. He'd be the first person wanting to do board work. He'd be the first person to get on the jug machine. Like, it was just things that he would do, like, that would make him special. His receiver coach at Virginia, Coach Mims, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had already talked to him. He's like, man, just take care of my boy. You know what I'm saying? I know you're going to look out for him. I know you're going to make sure he's straight. And, me and Malik, we got a good relationship because it's more like a big brother, little brother type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if I, ended up, if I was the type of player I felt like I could have been, my potential could have been in college, I feel like I could have been somewhere in there like Malik, like, strong physical guy, like probably not the biggest, but like could play inside, could play outside, like get jet sweeps, get handoffs, get reverses, be effective in the return game. That's what the game is now. So, after he went to the East-West Shrine game, he got MVP down there. He did really good. Worked hard at the combine. We worked hard to prepare for the combine. Like we was in it every day. He's one of the best route runners there. I ended up running his pro day, put his scripts together, like put his route script together. We worked at that. I talked to one of the scouts for the Chargers. He was like, man, it's one of the best pro days I ever seen. It was well put together. Like his drill work was excellent. He was in and out of breaks, didn't drop anything. He looked the part. He was healthy. So it was a long process. But like even when it came down to draft day, I just told him, I'm like, man, whatever happens, you know what I'm saying? You put the work in, and you did everything you needed to do. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of disappointed about the 6th round, but at the end of the day, it was like somebody called your name, and all you need is an opportunity. And as soon as the Dolphins drafted him, I'm like first thing in my head, I'm like, he the 3, like right now, he could be the 3 for them right now. You know what I'm saying? Just that, like that was just a thought, like in my head, because I'm like same stature type guy, Mike McDaniels, Wes Welker, your position coach, you wearing number 83, it make a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I know he's like, nah, coach, this is perfect. I'm gonna go take something. So we hit it, we hit it again before he took off. He ended up going down to Florida. He was trying to with my boy Tevin Allen down there, go feet on real tight with him. So he was getting them right while while I was still here in Atlanta. He was still working out, getting his work in down there. So that was good. He was Malik just one of the people he gonna find the work. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what. So he stayed at it, and it's like people. I call him the landlord. You know what I'm saying? Like when the rent due, he come to collect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with Malik, he's just he a pleasure to be around, man. And it's like that's just an attestament to the way he was raised. Like Malik is he graduated twice from 2 prestigious universities, Northwestern and Virginia. He was a 4.0 grad student. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't coach what he has. You know what I'm saying? You can't, like if Malik didn't play football, he could work for a Fortune 500 company and be fine, like in life. You know what I'm saying? So I think just with him is like, yeah, I think with Malik is like, you know, he's a low maintenance guy. He's not a rah-rah guy. Like he works hard. Like, you know, he likes to have fun and, you know, keep it, you know, he's a real high energy guy. So it's a blessing for me to be around him. It's a blessing for me to work for him. But I tell people all the time, I can't take credit for, you know, something that he's put work in his whole life to do. I just was, you know, less than fortunate enough to play a part in the process.
Well, that's really great to hear, and awesome just taking us through those things you don't really see on a scouting report necessarily. You know, you don't know the detail. I mean, to hear, and let's all put this into perspective. You're talking about a head coach here in Mike McDaniel, who is a Yale graduate, who now has a receiver who that was what McDaniel was, who's got a 4.0 from Northwestern Virginia. These are darn good schools. I mean, Northwestern, I mean, for a guy who knows journalism and is always, that is one of the best places, if not the, for sports journalism. So the playbook probably will not be an issue. You know, the intricacies.
It's not hard.
Clearly, it's like, it's got to be second nature. And what I noticed in my time down in training camp, as well as the preseason, is you can count 5, 6 different jobs or scenarios that he was doing. And you mentioned special teams, and you obviously have the aspects of the coaching, the training, the playing. I saw him obviously, and everyone did, return kick, return punt, but I also saw him do some work as, you know, a coverage gunner, an ace. You know, this is a guy who I think is going to get on the field no matter what. And you said it. There's no third wide receiver that has taken this job for the Miami Dolphins. You know, you can talk about a third target, like a Devon Achane, like a Jonnu Smith, but the wide receiver role outside of Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle, I feel like the Dolphins are screaming for that slot guy, that guy who can, as you say, jet sweeps, get the ball in his hand, and if Tyreek and Waddle are accounted for, what are your expectations of Malik as a rookie? And that could be in the special teams phase, the offensive phase. What are your basement level expectations? Because a lot of people are very excited so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Malik, I don't think it's basement. I think it's more like, you know, he can go as high as he wants to. They only signed for a receiver. Braxton Berrios was all pro return man. You know what I'm saying? And that's no knock to him. It's just more like he knows his role. Waddle and Tyreek, they play X and Z. Who's gonna play L? You know what I'm saying? So it's like he understands his role, and he understands, like, even if I have to go do something else, I will go do it. I'll run down on punt. I'll return kicks. I'll run down on kickoff. I'll be the holder on PAT. Like Malik doesn't care. Like, he's just one of them people. He will put the work in, but also he's a people person. So he's not one of them type people that's just gonna be all in your face. He's one of them type guys. He kind of, you know, he gonna make sure, you know, he's in the room. He's gonna be, you know, he's gonna be punctual. He's gonna do everything he needs to do. Sit in the front of meetings, be attentive, do what he needs to do, handle his business. And, you know, like, who doesn't want to learn from Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle? Like, who doesn't want to be around him? Like, when he got drafted, he told Tyreek, like, let me know the next workout, I'm pulling up. Like, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he flew to Miami a couple days later. You know what I'm saying? Just to get it in with them. So that's just who he is. And I think, you know, Malik is one of them type people. Like, I have a couple of receivers here at Langston Hughes. They're undersized guys. Like, they're starting to get recruited more, you know, because they're putting their numbers up and stuff like that. But they look at guys like Malik. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, Coach, he ain't even that much bigger than us. So it's like, I don't even think he knows how much motivation he is to a lot of kids in this city and, you know, around the world that aren't that big, but, you know, they play bigger than what they are. So, you know, it's like, it's a pleasure, like, just being able to say I know him, you know what I'm saying, just being able to work with him, and just, he understands the game and he understands it's a business. So it's like, it's never one of them things where you got to question, like, is he going to be on time? You never got to question, is he going to be in the right spot on this play? Like, is he going to know what to do? Like, he's just wired like that, you know?
He's almost reminding me of a Dolphin who was drafted, you know, in the mid, who was a wide receiver and a return man. And he started his career a little bit more so on the special teams. There were two excellent receivers in front of him. O.J. McDuffie, went to Penn State, obviously one of the best Dolphins to ever play the game. Had a year or two where he was just, he was returning punts, returning kicks. There was Irving Fryer, Mark Ingram ahead of him. And then all of a sudden, boom, he becomes the guy. He leads the NFL in receptions one of the years with Danny Marino slinging it to him. So now you have Tua, who's looking for that third option, as we said. The big knock on Tua, not a third read guy. Once the first or second options are done or covered, it's almost over. I want to ask you a question on whether you correlate that to a lack of viable option. And all due respect to your Braxton Berrios, your River Craycraft, these are receivers who got less than 2 targets a game last year. So it's almost like, does Tua want to go to a third option, or is it almost like, what is he going to do after the first 2? Because that's where it almost ends. But this year, do you see a differentiation in that stigma that he's not just he can go beyond this first or second read?
Yeah, I think it's different because it's like, let's be for real. What quarterback in the NFL doesn't think Tyreek Hill the first option every play? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got Jaylen Waddle. Like, if I'm 1-2, like, I got 2 backs that can get it done too. You know what I'm saying? They can make it happen. So it's like, I think Coach McDaniels just looked at it in this draft like, let's find him a third option. And that's no knock to anybody that's in the building, anything like that.
Right.
But they all had a fair competition to go show it. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever like that. But I think it's one of those things like, Coach McDaniels has like found a stature receiver that he likes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you find them type of guys that can do certain type of things, you know what I'm saying, in that type of game, in that type of realm, it's like now you can play inside, you can play out, you can play outside. Like that playbook ain't no joke. Like I went over the playbook with Malik. Like we worked a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? It's nuances in that offense where you have to know what's going on. And I think it may have been a trust thing with Tua. I'm not sure. Like, and I don't think nobody just really took that role, like for what it is or whatever like that. But I think it's different. It's like with Malik because you don't have to question, is he ready? You don't have to question, will he be in the right spot? You don't have to question, like, is he going to do things a certain type of, So I think it's like, I think the thing with Tua was just like, I got to find that guy I can trust, whether that be from injuries, whether that be from, play scheme, whether that be from play call, like whatever. I'm not in the building, so I'm not really sure. But I think Malik is that safety valve for him just because, Berrios is a great return guy. They'll use him on the offense and stuff like that, but it ain't too many teams that just sign 4 receivers and they can't just play 2 guys. You know what I'm saying? So.
It's a good point. Rookie receivers sometimes take a couple years to develop. Other times, you get a Puka Nacua who comes on in and sets a rookie record out of nowhere. And I think it's sometimes the scenario that you're in. And Malik is in a fantastic scenario to be that wide receiver 3, that slot, that third option. But I have a very curious, and I feel a lot of people, fans, pundits are curious about this kickoff, this dynamic kickoff. Do you think that, is this something that as like a Malik Washington guy, a trainer, us fans, are we like, oh boy, because that's where I think he might make his first national statement. It could happen on the first darn kickoff of the season. Someone's going to figure this rule out. And if a guy like Malik Washington mixes with the guy who could figure it out, we're talking a weapon who could be almost like the kickoff return version of a Devin Hester, because this rule is so interesting. And Malik's a guy who make one guy miss, he can get lost in blockers, and all of a sudden, boom.
No doubt. I think when Malik is like, and thank God that rule not going on while Devin Hester was playing, but it's one of them things where, like I said, Malik he's a lunch pail type guy. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna do whatever. So if you put him back there, he only gets better with reps and confidence. Like we could be in training sometimes, we'll do something. I'm like, man, you did a great job. He's like, no, I want to do it again. Let me run it again. Let me do it again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he understands when it's embedded in my head, I can't get it wrong. So like with that rule being in place, like and understanding they can't move until I get the ball, he gonna make the first person miss. Like that's who he is. But at the same time, it's like Malik could be the type to go in there. Okay, how are they covering right here? Like, let me go in there with the special teams coordinator, really sit down and see where I can catch a wave and make a jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to give myself confidence to play offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ball is in my hands. You know what I mean? So, some guys, I feel like, they shy away from playing special teams, but that's not him. You know what I'm saying? I think he just wants to make an impact anywhere he can on the field.
And the Dolphins need impact players on every aspect of special teams. The coverage, the return game. They were ranked rather low in a lot of special teams, all metrics that teams had other than kicking the darn football. They need to get better players and personnel on the field. And you have a Malik Washington coming in who I think is perfect for that. And, you had some other work this offseason with some Dolphins. They might not have made the 53. I'm not necessarily sure what they're doing at the moment, but I know you've worked with Braylon Sanders, Jody Fortson, and even your old teammate at Western Kentucky is now an enemy, unfortunately, and Mike White. You tell me a little bit of it. I hate to ask this kind of question, but we got you here. Mike. Is this a guy who's going to Buffalo ready to just throw the secrets out there and give them everything they need? Because that's what social media was clamoring about. Like, we don't want no snitches going to Buffalo here.
I mean,
but is that just part of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of it. Like, Mike was my roommate in college. So we real close. Yeah, we real close. I still talk to him all the time. I check on him, make sure he's good. Like, and, it was a blessing for him just to be, with the Dolphins, him being from Fort Lauderdale and everything like that. But, at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? This is who paying me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who, put me in this position. So, naturally as a football player, like, that's just going to happen. You're going to give tail signs and stuff like that. But, Mike is one of the most solid dudes I ever met, like, in my life. Like, he's one of them people, like, he, like, still to this day, hey, when you down here, call me, you know what I'm saying? Come to the house, like, come be with the family, like, come see me. Like, he's just one of them type guys. But, I'm proud of him, that he landed somewhere. I work with Jody Fortson. I'm actually finna go train him when I get down here, so he's still waiting on the call. I'm finna train him when I leave from up here. So he's just staying in shape, just waiting on his opportunity. And then Braylon, I've been training Braylon for a long time. He just kind of had the injury bug going on a little bit, but, like, he done showed spurts that he can get it done. So hopefully they'll move him up and give him an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, like, whenever that time comes. But there's a lot of guys. Mike Harley, my brother, that's my brother TJ, that's his cousin. So, like, real close with him, you know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of guys down that way, and it's just like, I like, the NFL is one of them type leagues where, tough decisions have to be made. So I never really question, like, what a front office does as far as decision-wise. It's just my job to keep these guys ready, keep their mind right, like, make sure I talk to them and let them know, like, you'll get another opportunity. Just keep working at it. Don't put your head down, you know what I'm saying, because they can call you back. You never know. Like, that's just the way it goes. So, you just got to stay ready. So you got to get ready and just keep working hard. And, you put your best foot forward when the work comes. When you put the work in, like, good things happen,
I love hearing it. And, back to the, going back to Mike White, the former roommate, he's had time with the Jets, the Dolphins, and now up in Buffalo. If he hits the 4-for-4 with the Patriots one day, that's something to hang the hat on. He's after the Ryan Fitzpatrick, 3 out of 4 teams so far, and that's good company to be in. But, Coach, I really do appreciate your time. Do you have an outlook for the Dolphins season before we get on out of here? Record-wise, do you have an expectation?
I mean, not really. No, I'm from Atlanta. I'm a Falcon fan, so, like, I'm happy that Malik is there. You know what I'm saying? I want the best for him. But Tyreek is one of my favorite receivers. He's one of my favorite receivers for sure. Waddle is one of my favorite receivers. Like, I just love them being smaller stature guys. So I love seeing them guys win. I got 2 receivers here, Jabbar Jones and Javon McGee. I call them Waddle and Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? That's how we use them. So, I use that comparison with them a lot. It's just I feel like, guys that are smaller stature, we kind of got overlooked for a long time. And it's like, Tyreek kind of kicked that door in. He came in as a running back, and they gave him a chance. He playing Z receiver in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he's motivation without even knowing. Like, he had a camp out here with Nicole Hartman. Me and my brother trained Nicole Hartman. He had a football camp out here. We were down in South Florida working the camp, so we couldn't go. But just the impact he has in this city, like, he's from Coffee County. He's from Georgia. So just, I support guys like him. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing him get voted top player in the NFL by his peers, like, that was great to see. Like, being a smaller guy. So I always root for them type guys. But I hope they have a great year. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody stays healthy. I love Coach McDaniel's play calls. Wes Welker was one of my favorite receivers growing up. I used to watch him a lot. So, hopefully I'll be able to get in contact with him soon, with Malik and stuff like that, and, like, pick his brain when I go down and do pre-draft training at HB again this year. So I'm really happy for it. And, that was a plus too. Like, Malik trained in Florida, and then he got drafted by the Dolphins, like, down the street. So that was a blessing too. So, I wish nothing but the best for them guys this year.
And Wes Welker, we kind of mentioned it. He's got that, former player, that returner, that receiver, that do it all. Wes Welker kicked footballs on the Dolphins team. He kicked off as well. And if you're saying Malik Washington is that guy, it makes great sense. I'm very excited to see him. I appreciate your coach. Where else could they find you? And tell us what that non-for-profit is again so everybody can check it out.
Yes, sir. You can find me on my Instagram and my Twitter is Coach Brown_MDN. And then my nonprofit, I have a nonprofit page on Instagram. It's called the Make 'em Believe Foundation, Believe with a 17. It's Make 'em Believe. My training pages are also Top Shelf _Steph, STEPH. You can find me there as well. So any one of them, you go on my YouTube, it's Coach Steph Brown. You can go on there and find some drills. I try to keep everything up to date. Like with the work that we're doing with the guys, I try to, recognize the guys that we got and stuff like that. So if y'all ever need anything, just get at me, man.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can do something a little bit more in season, talk about Malik's progress, the Dolphins' progress, and everything else he got going on. But enjoy week 1. And to everybody out there, appreciate you. And for DolphinsTalk.com, Jason Sarney, we are out.
Thanks, sir.